Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and in this video we are going to talk about some massive power that the stock market gives you, and that can really happen and is a true way to make money. And the best part is this can all be done online from home or really from wherever you want, but there's also going to be a valuable learning lesson within this video where for some of you experienced traders, you probably know exactly what I mean. For those of you that have maybe never traded a stock before, it may not seem like that big of a deal, but all I ask is just hopefully people leave comments down below that say, yes, Clay, I've been there and I've done what you've talked about, and don't do that. So if you are brand new and you think, oh, Clay, you're just being dramatic, please read the comments down below and hopefully some people share their experiences with it because there's a valuable lesson here. Now, to offer up a little context here, none of this is theory that I'm talking about. This is all something that is from the real world. What do I mean by that? Well, here on the screen, you see a technical chart that I sent out to members of my private community. And part of that service is every weekend, I'll go through, run personal scans, and then send out some setups like this. And I bring all this up so you can see that, again, this is not some sort of, well, what I'm talking about here is theoretical or anything like that. No, this is something from the real world that has actually happened, and that is the backbone from where all this is coming from, something that I sent out to members here. And the main thing about what you see on the screen here is that I make the comment right there, a better RVR entry, RVR meaning risk versus reward, meaning, yeah, I see where the price is right now, but let's see if some more selling, let's see if some more panic shows up that pushes the price to be more in our favor as traders. So that's the whole background, that's the whole premise here of this alert that was sent out. So that is going to be what we use to, first off, like I said, just show the absolute power of the market and how, yeah, you can definitely make money, and how you could turn $100 into $900 or $1,000 into $9,000 or whatever, you want to do in terms of, those numbers. But also, like I said, and I would argue probably even more importantly, is to teach you a valuable lesson. And I will be the first to admit that, yes, I kind of use a little bit of, it's not clickbait because, as you'll see, that's totally what happens and what could have happened, but it is clickbait a little bit in the sense of, hopefully I gathered your attention and got you to click so that I can now teach you something that needs to be learned if you want to have success as a trader. So how to make 900%? Well, it all starts with patience. And that may seem like, okay, what exactly does that mean? That's a pretty broad statement, to which I would agree. So let's just focus on the fact that there's really two types of patience out there. We have amateur patience, and that is, I would say, if you're just getting started, maybe you just got started trading, then that's pretty much the patience you're going to start with. That is certainly the patience I started with, and I'm not calling you stupid. I'm not saying you're not smart enough. I'm not saying you don't have the right skills. All I'm saying is that, yes, most people when they get started, that's the type of patience they have, and it's just a matter of acknowledging that, self-awareness, and then just being able to fix it. And the goal here is ultimately have what I would call professional patience. So what do each of these look like? I want to break them down. And again, I'm going to be using the exact example that I talked about at first as the backdrop to all of this. So what do amateurs do? Well, there is the setup over on the far left there that was alerted. And I realize it's a little different, but I'm using a different software there to bring up the chart, but it makes it easier to see. So because amateurs, they have zero patience, or they have no strategy, which causes them to have zero patience, they just buy randomly. I mean, that's what amateurs do. They buy randomly. And in this case, let's say they bought right up around there. But also, I'm not going to assume a worst case entry. So let's just say that they bought it at an entry point of 8 cents. Technically speaking, they could have easily bought at 0.083 or 9 or 10 cents. But like I said, I don't want to assume a worst case entry. So let's just say they bought at an entry point of 8 because they have no patience, or they just don't have a strategy and therefore they don't have a patience. So random buy of 0.08. Now, what do professional traders do? Well, because professional traders, they have a strategy, they are able to what? To locate a logical entry area. They have a strategy. Because of this, they can locate a logical entry area, and therefore, they're going to have patience to not enter randomly. I mean, think about it. If you have a strategy, you're going to know where you want to buy. You're going to know where you should be buying. You're going to know where it's logic, where it's a logical entry place to buy. So because you know it's logical to buy at that location, you can therefore will have patience, because why would you want to buy at a not logical place, right? So by definition, it forces you into having patience because you've now identified a logical place to buy. So because of all this, you can see that the price went down to 6 cents on that pullback. Now, I'm not going to assume the best case entry here. So let's just say that you got in, and I'm not going to assume you got in at an absolute worst case either. So let's just call it an entry point of 0.065. So 0.065 is where the professional traders got into this alert. Now, from the amateur's perspective, while the pros were patiently waiting, again, waiting for the price to come down to a much more logical area, to come down to a much more risk versus reward friendly area, as I talked about at the start, what was going on from the amateur's perspective? Well, for those for those that bought up around there, from 8 cents down to 6 cents, that was a loss of 25%. So, I mean, think about that. That's what the amateurs are having to endure. Watching their account, watching their position drop by a quarter, by 25%. But remember, I was actually being a little gracious. I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's not unreasonable at all, because the proof is right there that there were certainly people buying way up above 8 cents. So just out of curiosity, how about the people that were at 9 cents? That, again, didn't have any patience, so they're just buying randomly. So they bought at 9 cents. Maybe they got caught up in social media hype. Maybe they were, who knows where they got it. But for whatever reason, they just bought at 9 cents. And if you understand what you're looking at, if you have a strategy, then you would know that 9 cents, that is just definitely a totally random spot. They had to sit through a 33%. So right there, that's a third. They had to watch a third of their account go into the red. How about a 12-cent entry, people? Yes, you can see that via that technical chart. It showed people were buying at 12 cents. They had to endure a 50% account drop. So, I mean, think about that. Watching your account go down by 50%. How about this? People that got in at 14 cents, way up there, they had to watch your account go down by 57%. And this is what they were saying in their mind. It's patience. Hey, hold and hope, hold and hope, hold and hope. Come on, go back up, go back up. But I'm here to tell you, and again, this is one of those things where down in the comment section, if you can give me your experience with this, it would be greatly appreciated. But hold and hope is not actually patience, okay? It's not actually patience. What is it? It's total gambling. That's all it is you're holding and hoping, please go up, holding and hoping, please go up. Now, in your mind, you may not be saying that. In the mind, you're saying, well, I'm patiently waiting. I'm patiently waiting. But think about this. Let's go back. Patiently. So if part of your plan is to patiently wait and endure a 25% or a 33% or a 50% or a 57% position go against you, if that is what your game plan is, I would like to propose that you have a very poor game plan to begin with. If that's what yours is, I'm just being patient. I'm letting my trade plan work out. If your trade plan needs to go 50%, 33%, 25% against you in order to eventually work out, that's not really a trade plan. And the thing with gamblers is that they never survive. So here's how they are destroyed. Now, this won't make sense at first, but just stay with me. So here is exactly how gamblers are destroyed. Again, gamblers with the amateur patience being just hold and hope, hold and hope. So let's go back to the aftermath of all this, and you can see what eventually happened was this stock made a very nice move. So much so that it really is just the amazingly powerful opportunity that the market gives to those with patience, with true patience, that is. So think about this. People had the opportunity to get in right around there at 0.06. Again, I did the calculations at 0.065. And this thing, within just a few days, went up to 65 cents. That's a 900% move. The stock market is a powerful, powerful place. It's crazy. But the stock market is also a cruel place, because the amazingly cruel trick that the market played on those gamblers with no patience is this. So theoretically, somebody could have bought at 17 cents, which I didn't even do the calculations for that. But in theory, somebody could have bought at 17. Think about that. So they could have bought at 17, and those people, after the price dropped all the way down there, could have still made 282%. Isn't that crazy? Somebody could have bought at literally the worst spot possible, endured an over 60% move against them, yet still come out with 282%. But remember, this is how trading accounts are destroyed. This is how gamblers don't survive. And right now you're thinking, what are you talking about, Clay? They just made 282%. What do you mean they don't survive? They just literally well over doubled their money. So how is this cruel? How does this actually destroy? How does this actually knock gamblers out of the game, knock gamblers out of the business of being a trader? Because the market loves to screw around with people, and the rewarding of a bad plan happens. Again, if you think that buying at 17, holding through a pullback all the way down to 6, which is, again, applies that you would have watched your account evaporate by 60%. If you think that was a good plan, I'm going to have to respectfully tell you, no, that was not a good plan. But when you're new and you don't know what you don't know and you're an amateur, you're going to sit there and say, wow, I just made 282%. That was a good plan. No. And here's exactly why. So here's another stock out there, and the high right there was $12.53. And eventually it dropped all the way down to that point. But here's the kicker. After that, it started to work its way back upwards. So again, one of these hold and hope. Look at this thing. Beautiful uptrend to the upside. In fact, is it time to buy more? And this is the market just having fun with the amateurs, having fun with new people, and building false hope. I've referred to it as fool's gold, but you can have situations where you hold and hope. Work again. And guess what? Even work again and work again. And then you have one of these situations where, who knows, maybe you've done this before. You hold and hope, it starts to go back up and you buy more. But all it takes is one of these, and one of these will happen, because again, that's what the market's doing. It's rewarding bad plans. And then something like this plays out, and you can see over time, hold and hope didn't work out. In fact, at this point, had you done that, down 84.8% as of the recording of this video. And yes, this is one of those Canadian marijuana companies, but very, very cruel. And think about it. Maybe all those times that the hold and hope worked, of course, your account's growing. So maybe you're putting more and more money into your account because you want to just, keep on growing your account. And then it takes just one of these, and all of those gains you could have had wiped away. Maybe not all, but a vast majority. Who knows? Maybe you lose all your gains, plus you're in the hole now completely. All it takes is one of these. And that is why gamblers don't survive. That is why hold and hope eventually will bite you, because you'll stumble across a stock like this that just never goes back up. So while you hold and hope or keep on buying more, it just keeps going against you. And before you know it, you're sitting in the hole. And it's a very real thing. Again, down in the comments section, do you have any experience with this? I know I do. I definitely have experience with holding and hoping, and nothing ever happens, and then a loss is much bigger than it should have ever been in the first place. So like I said, let me know in the comment section, do you have any experience with this? And I love this quote here. Self-awareness is our capacity to stand apart from ourselves and examine our thinking, our motives, our history, our scripts, our actions, and our habits and tendencies. And I bring this up because, again, there's nothing wrong if right now you have amateur patience, if right now you're kind of random in your strategy. So I bring that up because if you would like some help with and guidance in terms of your patience levels, then that's awesome, because that's self-awareness. You are admitting that, you know what, I do need some help. I do need maybe some new opportunities in regards to understanding my patience levels and making sure that I'm getting more of those risk versus reward type entry points. So like I said at the very beginning, if you're interested, I do offer a community for that. If you're not interested, that's totally fine too. Please just make sure that you get out there and you're actually patient. But if you would like some guidance and some additional assistance, in regard to this, I'd encourage you to go to theclaytrader.com/team, and that is where I offer my community. And that's also where, at the very beginning, when you saw this alert that was made from my personal scans, that is where you would get access to that. So you can go there and check it out if you want to learn more details. But if anything, all I would say is if you enjoyed this video and you would like for me to keep on making these an easy way to communicate that to me, just hit that like button and leave a comment down below like I've asked, either about suggestions for future videos or, like I said, to please share any experiences you have with amateur patience and randomness and having a buy and hold and then you eventually get bit. I mean, we all love a good horror story, and horror stories are always a good way to kind of just illustrate that, yeah, this stuff is no joke. If you, and it will... Gambles will eventually not pay off, and you'll definitely get burned. And then again, if you're interested in joining the community or just learning more about it, you can go to claytrader.com/team. But if nothing else, please hit that like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for hanging out, and get out there and start to develop true professional patience.